I'm definitely gearing this towards mamas who like to be super prepared. If there's a possibility that I might need something, I'm gonna get it just in case, because when you're in that zone of no sleep and you've just been thrown into having your first baby, and I think I might have been a little bit naive in thinking that I probably wouldn't need one. Hey guys, whilst Bubs is asleep, I'm gonna try and share with you all my breastfeeding must-haves. Well, I basically collected together on the bed here some of the things that I found super helpful for my breastfeeding journey, to help me out, things I didn't know about, things I wish I had got beforehand. I'm also going to link all of these things in the description, so you don't need to take notes. I'm just gonna write a list for you so that you can find all of these items. Also, just before we get started, just in case you are new to my channel, my name is Charlie. I am a first-time mum. I have a baby girl who is just over 10 months old now. I am British and I live in Australia. My breastfeeding journey was actually a bit of a struggle at the start. I did make a video, which I'll also link in the description or put in whichever, I think it's that corner, and that will just tell you a bit about my story. It was a little bit of a struggle. It was a bit of a battle to get things going because of various different things. Also, I am definitely an over-preparer. I am one of these people that would prefer to have the things and not need them rather than the other way around. So if you're like a complete minimalist, then maybe this probably isn't the video for you. But if you are an organizer and you are like a very prepared person, then this is definitely for you. You are going to want to know about all of these things. Also, just before we get started, I just want to put a quick disclaimer in that I am obviously not a lactation consultant. I am also not any sort of medical professional. I am just sharing the things that I used, the things that I did, things that helped me, the things that maybe didn't help me. And yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. And also, I am definitely of the opinion that fed is best. So whatever works for you and your family is what you should do. If you watch my breastfeeding journey, you'll see that we fed my little girl Lexi in pretty much every way you possibly can. So I have absolutely no judgment. I am just of the opinion that any way that you can feed your baby is the best. Okay, I'm gonna dive straight in with the biggest thing that I needed, which was my pump. Now, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Before this whole thing started, I honestly thought that when it came to breastfeeding, I was like, I don't need a pump. Why would I need a pump? I'm just gonna be breastfeeding. But despite breastfeeding being the most natural thing, it can be quite tricky and it takes a lot of practice and technique, and there's a lot of, factors involved there's two people involved, it's you and the baby. So it's just, it sometimes isn't as straightforward. If you guys want to see my full journey, as again, you can watch the video. But I am so glad that I had a pump. I originally borrowed a pump just on a whim from a friend, and just because she offered it to me, and I was like, oh, I don't think I'm gonna need a pump, but anyway, at least I've got one just in case. And I did, because we couldn't get breastfeeding established, and I was using it to increase my supply, and well, there's lots of reasons why you would use a pump. But anyway, so I have the Medela Swing Maxi. It's a double pump. I would definitely recommend getting a double pump, so it has two of these, because if you're just pumping, then it just saves so much time. When I borrowed my friend's, we only had a single, and as you can imagine, it was like pump for 20 minutes on one side, then switch and pump for 20 minutes on the other side. And yeah, I very quickly got my own and got a double. I have to be honest, if I was to do this again, I would be looking at getting I think it's the LV. I'll drop a picture of them in. They are portable pumps that you just tuck into your bra. Saves so much time. I would not be going around with this paraphernalia again. But yeah, but as I said, even though I was breastfeeding and I plan to exclusively breastfeed, you still are probably going to need a pump. And I think I might have been a little bit naive in thinking that I probably wouldn't need one. Anyway, the next item is a Haaka. This one actually is a Tommy Tippy brand, but this is so useful for when if you have a little bit of an oversupply for a start. but for basically you put this on the other side to collect the milk, because when your letdown is stimulated, you when the baby's on one side, you'll get basically letdown happening from the other side. So instead of wasting the milk, which, trust me, especially in those early stages, is like, it's like liquid gold, honestly. It's like if you spill breast milk, you will cry over it, trust me. Anyway, you want to collect it instead of it going into a breast pad. So basically get one of these. It's also like a manual pump, so you can squeeze it and pump as well. But yeah, that was super, super helpful to collect on the other side that the baby wasn't on. If you are planning on pumping, you probably also want to get some breast milk storage bags. I use, again, the Medela brand, but they're super, super useful to just put your milk in the freezer. But again, it's like all this collection of things that you're gonna kind of need. I also got the Medela microwave bags, which are like sterilizing bags. They are so helpful if you're like out and about. Well, I say out and about, like if say you go to a friend's house, it means you don't have to bring your big sterilizer. You can just take one of these bags, and they're good for like, I think it's 10 uses, so it's super useful. I'm gonna have like 1 or 2 of these with me, like when I travel, just in case I need to sterilize something. We don't often need to at the moment because Lexi is 10 months, so a bit older, but at the beginning, super, super useful. The next thing you're probably gonna want is some good nipple cream. Now, I kind of ended up buying so many different nipple creams and trying them all because it was quite painful, to be honest, and I just wanted to try anything that would help. I bought the organic Mama Earth, but I used it once and it wasn't particularly great. I then was using the Medela, but it was a bit sticky and it just kind of wasn't the best. So I recommend just trying a few different ones out. I ended up just using plain Lansinoh, which is pure lanolin, which is safe for the baby, so you don't have to wash the cream off before the baby goes on your nipple. Oh, these were so good. I got these a little bit later on, and they were just really fantastic. It's a little, I don't really know what you call it. I think it's like a collecting shield. Again, it's made by Medela. I really should just be sponsored by Medela. But these are just so great because you can just tuck them in your bra against your nipple, and it's like soft on one side and it just collects the letdown, and so you're not wasting anything. And then it has a little kind of lip on it here so you can pour the milk out easily. I had 2 of them, obviously. I used to put 2 of them in just in case. Like sometimes I get out of the shower and because of the hot water, it would like trigger my letdown. So I would immediately, when I was getting dressed, I'd immediately tuck these 2 into my bra just to stop the letdown, collect the letdown, sorry. Next thing that I used that was really useful, again, for painful nipples. There were 2 things really. First one was Hydrogel discs. Now these are just little discs that they're hydrogel and they're cool. You can put them in the fridge and then it's really nice, and then you just take them out of their little packet and then put them in your bra, and it's kind of refreshing and it's just really nice, and those were definitely helpful. And then the second thing was some heat packs. Now I got these are from Lansinoh again. It's a little kind of heat pack that you put in the microwave, and then you have a little cover that you put it in, so you could just tuck that into your bra again, and it just it would help for triggering your letdown, and it also just was really soothing as well. I don't really use this sort of stuff anymore. Now we're much further down the line, but I remember in those early days having things like this was just such a comfort, and it was so nice. You can just use a normal heat pack on your kind of cleavage. That also just relieves. It's just nice, basically. One thing you're definitely going to need, well, almost definitely gonna need, is breast pads. Now, there's obviously lots of different types. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I've been using disposable ones, which I know is bad, and you can definitely get lots of reusable ones, and I would 100% do that second time around. I just had a bit of a stressful time, and the concept of washing out breast pads was just not something I was remotely capable of. Anyway, we're not going to go into that right now. But these are essential. You're gonna need these because when you're regulating your milk at the beginning, the amount of times that I woke up, maybe the bubs had slept through a bit and I hadn't woken up, obviously, because nor had she, and my bra was just completely soaked through. I still use these every now and then at the moment, and we're 10 months in, so it's, yeah, definitely you're gonna need some breast pads, but I would recommend just getting some nice bamboo ones, or, you know, some reusable ones, because this is obviously a little bit wasteful. But as I said, I was in a bit of a tough situation with a distinct lack of support. There was no one here helping me do the laundry, so honestly the concept of washing breast pads out was just not gonna happen. The next thing that is super, super important, as you can imagine, is getting good nursing bras. Now, this one's a little bit tricky, if I'm honest, because I got fitted for bras before the baby arrived, and then obviously once your milk comes in, and then even when you're like breastfeeding in those first couple of months, you're fluctuating so much that it's really difficult to get the sizing right. So I actually got fitted for, I had bought a set of bras and then they didn't fit. I kind of recommend, even though it's a bit more tricky, getting your feeding bras kind of once you've got into a rhythm of nursing. One thing that I did get that was really helpful is a sleep bra. Now I had a really nice soft sleep bra. Now the reason this was completely like essential for me was because I used to, well I still do, used to kind of overproduce, and I would leak in the night, so I would be wearing my breast pads. And obviously you have to have a bra on to keep your breast pads in place to catch the milk. So you just want to get a really comfortable like bralette, basically, which is what this is. It's just a really comfortable bralette. It is an actual breastfeeding one. It has, you know, the hooks on it. I actually have like 5 of these because they're just so comfortable and it's just really nice. And I had this for when I was in the hospital as well. Like when I first gave birth, it's nice to have soft bras. And then down the line, obviously you can get kind of slightly more fitted bras. One of the last things that I got to help with the breastfeeding situation that I didn't actually think about was actually a sterilizer, because again, just before the bubs arrived, it must have been about a month before, I was like, do we need a sterilizer? And I hadn't thought about the fact that yes, you do, because you're going to need to be sterilizing your pumps, and obviously then bottles and things like, and Haakas and things like that. So yeah, you need to get a sterilizer, unless obviously you're not going to be using any of this sort of stuff. This is our sterilizer. It is a Tommy Tippy. I actually got it as a bundle, like it was on a deal with a load of bottles. Not that Lexi used those, annoyingly. This is a two tiered sterilizer, really, really simple. And it just made it so much easier, because obviously as we were bottle feeding as well at one point, and again, it was one of those things that I was like, I'm planning on exclusively breastfeeding. What do I need all of this stuff for? But you kind of do. Another thing that's super handy, especially in those early days, is to get yourself a Caddy, like this one here. Or any sort of kind of device that you can just keep everything together. Because when Bubs is really tiny, and especially if it's your first baby, you'll quite often, I quite often get myself in a situation where I was kind of almost stuck. I'd start breastfeeding her, and then I'd be like, oh, I just need to quickly reach that cream, or I just need to quickly reach a pad, or I just need to, you know, it was easy just to keep everything in one little area, so you could just kind of grab it and put it next to you. If you're planning on breastfeeding, you will learn very quickly that you will be hungry all the time. So you want to keep snacks close, and that's why it's good to have a little Caddy. I also used to keep my water bottle in it, and yeah, just have everything really accessible and in grabbing distance. It's something that, again, before Bubs arrived, I was just like, why do you need all this stuff, and why is that a problem? But just trust me, it happens. You'll sit down and put the baby on the boob, and then you're kind of stuck And at the beginning they can be feeding for like longer periods as well sometimes, you know, it could be like they're half an hour on each side kind of thing. So yeah, it's just easy to have everything just accessible and you can just grab it and put it next to you. Also, coming off that note, another thing you probably want to get yourself is a feeding pillow. We got this one and took it to hospital with us. You can use any pillow, right? And I do now, I don't use a feeding pillow, but when they're really little, it's actually quite nice. And also it's quite comforting because it kind of sits around you and it's just easy to put the baby next to you when they're really tiny, when they're a newborn, and it is really kind of useful to have. As I said, I don't use a feeding pillow anymore, but yeah, it's quite nice to have one. Another thing that's useful for breastfeeding is obviously your breastfeeding and, well, pregnancy vitamins. It takes quite a lot of energy producing breast milk, so it's definitely good to obviously be eating really as healthily as you can and making sure that you're still taking your vitamins. I had like a massive tub from pregnancy, so I basically just kept taking these. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not very good at the moment. I haven't really been taking these much, but I definitely notice when I haven't been taking my vitamins. I guess feel a little bit more tired. But yeah, definitely you want to be taking your breastfeeding supplements. This is the one I take personally. This is well, obviously I'm in Australia, so, but there's obviously so many different ones on the market. So I really hope that showing you some of the items that I used will help you on your journey. I didn't really find a lot of information like this on YouTube, so I thought, why not? I'm just gonna make a video, and I'm definitely gearing this towards mamas who like to be super prepared. I'm not really a kind of wing it sort of person. I'm much more, if there's a possibility that I might need something, I'm gonna get it just in case, because when you're in that zone of no sleep and you've just been thrown into having your first baby, I don't really want to be sorting out whether I need this pump or that pump, or like, you know, what sort of nipple cream and all this sort of stuff. So I just literally just got everything I could possibly need, and I used it all the time. So yeah, I hope this video has been helpful for you. Please do hit the subscribe button if you found this useful and you'd like to see more mama content. I do mama content, but I also do like adventures and vlogs and like cozy chit chats. We are actually going to be traveling to the UK in just a few weeks, so I'm super excited for that. I'm gonna be obviously taking our little Bubs with us. She's gonna be almost 1 by the time we're traveling, so I'm going to be doing lots of how to do long haul travel with a baby. And yeah, I'm just trying to pass on as much information as I possibly can, because I found there was a little bit of a lack of real stuff out there on YouTube, and you know me, I like to keep it real. So yeah, I hope this has been helpful. As I said before, all the links are in the description, so you can find everything that I've been using. Please do make sure you're subscribed. We'd love to have you as part of our internet family, and if you found any value from this video, then please hit the like button, because it really does support my channel and it's totally free to do. And come and chat to me in the comments, because I love to know where you guys are from. If you're due soon, let me know. And if you use any of these products, or if you like them, or maybe you don't like them, let me know, because I love to hear your opinions. And I will see you in the next one.